call it as protein bagel bites. You could do this a couple different ways. There's what I call like the long way and the short way. I'm going to show you the long way, which is how I prefer taste-wise, but it's one simple extra step. So let's get started. So I've already grabbed everything that I'm going to need to make these. I try and keep my ingredients as low as possible. It helps keep the calories lower, and it's just easier. So I'm not taking any, or I'm not going to make anything that takes more than like 5-10 minutes to prep and make, because I'm not waiting that long if I'm in a hurry, or when it's time to eat, it's time to eat. So what you're going to need is 3 eggs. You can do egg whites from a carton, that's fine too. You're going to want 1 whole egg, 1 yolk. About 1/4 cup of spinach, which I've already chopped up, as you can see. Garlic's going to be to taste. Oregano is going to be to taste. If I do any type of cheese, I try and keep it fairly low in my preps, but if you don't have any carbs and you have some fats in the meal, then you can do cheese. This bag in particular is 5 grams of fat and less than 1 gram of carb and 8 grams of protein. So this is what I'm using. It's from King Soopers. And then Bob's Red Mill is pretty much all the flours that I buy. This one's called Vital Wheat Gluten. It is 23 grams of protein, 4 grams of carbs, and no grams of fat. So I'm going to be using this as like my filler for my flour. And then Quest Protein Baking Powder. So this one's multi-purpose, so it's unflavored. So it's really great for using it as a pizza crust because it doesn't have any sweetness flavor to it. And then the last thing is just pizza sauce. So this one came from Sprouts. It's 15 calories per 1/4 cup, and that's pretty much what we're going to use. We're going to use 3 to 4 tablespoons. You can always add more. It's 15 calories per 1/4 cup, so that's not so bad. 3 grams of carbs, 1 gram of fiber, and those are my ingredients. So it's going to be that easy. So the first thing I'm going to do is take the 3 eggs. I'm going to use 1 whole egg and 2 whites. So I'm separating the whites here. You can also use them from a carton and just measure out about 6 tablespoons of egg whites. So it's preference. If you have more room for calories or fats in your diet, this recipe will also work using 2 yolks. And eggs are a great complete protein, so I'll also do it that way sometimes and use 2 whole eggs and 1 white. So next I'm going to add the spinach, which I'd already chopped up. This is about 1/4 cup. The Vital Wheat Gluten, which is used for dense breads actually, and we're using 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon. So it's also the same as 4 teaspoons if you want to measure it. The Quest Protein Powder is going to be 2 tablespoons of the powder. And then we're just going to add just a little bit of minced garlic, and this is all to taste, so I did about 1 teaspoon here. And then the Italian seasoning is also to taste, and basil will also work as a great substitution for flavor. So I use a pretty decent amount, probably about 1/2 tablespoon or so. So I'm just going to mix everything together. Obviously make sure that the Vital Wheat Gluten, the flour, make sure that it just is dissolved from the eggs and the egg whites. And then grease 6 small muffin tins, and then just add the batter into each one. So I'm using parchment paper to keep them from sticking, and sprayed them with just a little bit of 0-calorie spray. And then the batter that's going in, I'm only using just a bit of it. So I'm just really lining the bottom of the tin versus using all the batter. So this is what they look like. So this is 10 minutes in the oven. So I left them in there and then just pulled them out. We are going to then add 2 tablespoons of the tomato sauce on top. I'm just evenly spreading out 2 tablespoons of tomato sauce. So you can see it looks like that. And then we've got our cheese, so I already measured it out. This is 1 serving, so 28 grams or 1/4 cup of the low-fat cheese. And then again, just gonna evenly space out. I'm only gonna do 1/2 of the cheese that's of this portion, so 1/2's gonna go in the middle and 1/2's gonna go on top. You can put it all in the middle. You could skip this step entirely and just cook all the batter at once, but they'll just get really thick, so I feel like there's more flavor in every bite when there's something in the middle. So that's why I do it this way. But you can cook it all at once if you want to save yourself a step. So that's what they look like. And then I'm going to put the rest of the dough back on top. So this is what I have left over. And I'm just going to evenly put this on top. And again, this is just going to create another layer and kind of get that cheese, tomato flavor in every bite, so that way the top is going to have a little bit of that layer as well. So cook again for another 10 minutes or so. Just keep an eye on them. Once the top is firm, that's pretty much when they're done. So just obviously make sure the eggs are cooked all the way. And then that's pretty much it. So we're going to put them back in the oven. probably about 4 more minutes or so. I took them out and this is what they look like. So I'm gonna plate them and I'll show you a final presentation. So this is what they look like when they're all done. So if you wanted to skip this step by putting the tomato sauce and the cheese in the middle, that's totally fine. You can just do it at the very end and you'll have the same effect essentially. I just think they're a little bit more flavorful when there's sauce in the middle. So it keeps them from being a little bit more dry in the middle and having the dough have a little bit more flavor to it. But not necessary. You can also do this with 12 mini muffin tins versus using 6. I just used kind of a standard size muffin tin, but you can also put them in smaller ones. And then you can put less dough per tin and have 12 pizza bites over 6. The macros are 38 grams of protein, 10 grams of fat, and 3.5 grams of carbs. So another healthy, low-carb option if you're in the middle of prep or a cutting phase. I eat them for breakfast, I eat them cold, put them to go, and I just throw them in a bag and I'm out the door. I eat them for dinner, so they're really great anytime option, and they're as close as we're going to get to real pizza. So enjoy. Shot, guys. Let me know what you think. I look forward to hearing your feedback, and I look forward to making the next recipe. So you guys have a great night, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.